man. Let me go ahead and feed the streets, man. Ignore all the noise in the back. All right, ignore all the noise in the back. We're gonna be feeding the streets today. We're gonna be talking about the top three, maybe even four, maybe even five. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even four, maybe five. The best stocks to own in this second half of the year. Okay, I really think this is an important video because we're gonna be talking about some of the best stocks. Like a lot of people right now, they believe the best stocks to own right now is the Qs. The Qs or Microsoft. And don't get me wrong, these are great stocks. These are great companies. We know, these stocks are going to continue to, inch to the upside. Keyword, inch to the upside. We want some runners to the upside, okay? We don't want any inchers anymore. This was a runner back when we talked about it, back in like March and April when, we had this drawn up. We already knew this was going to happen before it happened. I've had this since, March. But we're going to be talking about the top stocks to own coming into 2023 and their price targets, okay? Or not 2023. Where did I get 2023? Oh, my gosh. All right, we're going to look at SoFi, okay? I think SoFi is an absolutely must-own coming into 2025. And even like buying equity, even dollar cost averaging, this is a company that continues to add on new Gen Z type of people, okay? And I have this app. This app is great. It's a great app. It's kind of like Robinhood. Not quite. But it's getting there, okay? Once they add options trading and stuff like that, they're going to be up there with Robinhood, and they keep onboarding people, et cetera. So I actually think SoFi is the banking of the future, along with Robinhood, et cetera. But Robinhood's gone, okay? That's one that we talked about when it was like $30. But SoFi, to me, still has some big room to around $37, okay? Charts that look like this, where you have this 2 to 3 year long accumulation that we talk about a whole lot, okay? This is 2 to 3 year long accumulation, okay? And then you have this distribution retest, and then you get this huge runner, kind of like what you've seen with Robinhood and, PLTR, et cetera. Okay, you have this 2 to 3 year long accumulation, distribution retest, and then you have a huge runner. Okay, I'm gonna just show you PLTR just so you can really understand what is going on right now. Okay, because this is nothing to play with. Okay, 2 to 3 year long accumulation, boom. Boom. This one didn't even have a retest. All the government subsidies, man, they said, forget the retest. We just going to distribute it. And, it obviously went to those levels that were insane. So SoFi, in my opinion, is still a baby. It's still a baby to where it has a lot of upside movement. This is one that you can dollar cost average into, if you're just buying equity or even get like elite play. Okay. I think this is a very important trade. I think this is going to make us a whole lot of money. Okay. So this is one. In no order, though. I'm not saying like this is the best one. All right. The next one I want to get into, man, and this is controversial. Because I know some of you guys hate this one, man. I see some of you guys' comments, man. I see some of you guys' DMs, man. I know you guys hate this one. But guess what? We have to put it on here, man, because Airbnb is a beast. It's a unicorn. It's one of the only stocks that does what it does. I mean, the next one is Vrbo, and I don't even think Vrbo. Let me look at Vrbo. I don't even think Vrbo is stock. Hold on. I don't even think it's a stock, bro. But anyways, this is like the Uber, okay? This is the Uber, and Vrbo is like the Lyft. Nobody's doing what Airbnb is doing, so therefore it is a disruptive technology, okay? I don't know if that's how you say it, but whatever. A disruptive technology, okay? So when you think about Airbnb, you think of it being like a Uber, and Uber is currently sitting at almost $200 billion market cap. And then you look at something like Lyft, which is, kind of not Uber, but, Lyft, they were competing at a time. And this is a $6 billion market cap. Okay, so when you look at Airbnb, to me, I think this has a whole lot of market cap to capture. I think a lot of people are going to be investing in this because guess what? It's been sitting here and doing what? What has it been doing? We just talked about this. What has it been doing? It IPO'd in 2021 and then has sat here and accumulated for 2 to 3 years. Okay, so this tells me that people are buying it up, just buying it, accumulating it. They're not gonna make a big deal about it just yet. But wait for it. Okay. I have massive price targets on this. We can look at them really quick. I think obviously you got that 166 reject twice where you had it, back in March 2024, and then when it got added to the S&P 500 around here. But as soon as it starts breaking out of 167, you're going to get a retest of 220, which is the IPO price. And then, it could even possibly shoot to 300. And, I even think it could get to 400 plus. Just the pure fact that it is a unicorn. No other stock is doing what it's doing. And this is a company that's going to continue to innovate and continue to add on to the brand that it already has. You got some people are thinking, what is it doing right now? But no, this stock, this company has the ability to further and add different features and different things that they can bring to their app. So I absolutely love Airbnb. I think this is a stock that's going to blow a lot of people out the water, and a lot of people are going to be talking about it very, very soon. And this is a stock that I think is going to easily get you a 2x. This is a stock that I'm going to be buying over this time period. I think this is a great just buy. Because if you look what happened when we had that bear market back in 2021 or 2022 to 2023, it didn't have that big of a dip. Okay. Usually when you look at the IPOs, like we can just go back to PLTR, you look at some of the stocks that IPO'd back then. And I think this is just such an important thing to look at, because some of you guys can go back and, really compare a lot of these stocks just with what you see me doing right here. This is a stock that dumped 86% during that 2022-2023 bear run or, correction market. Okay. Robinhood is another one. These stocks corrected very, very heavily. Okay. A lot of stocks corrected way more than Airbnb, or way more than stocks that IPO'd back in 2021. Okay. The stocks that IPO'd back in 2021, they were taking negative 80% hits. Now let's see what Airbnb did. Let's just see what Airbnb did. Okay. Let me see. What if it's 80%? What is 80%? 60%, 62%. Okay, so I think there's a lot of strength coming into Airbnb. I think Airbnb is going to be great. I think this is one of the top stocks to own right now. I think even, overall, but definitely a top stock right now. The next one I want to look at is SMCI. Okay, SMCI. And a lot of people, they think this stock may be done. They think this stock may be over with. But I'm here to tell you right now, this stock has an epic run coming in 2026. No, in the second half of 2025. Don't let me get ahead of myself. In the second half of 2025, maybe, the market needs a correction. I'm not saying this is a stock that you go in and buy like tomorrow. Okay. This is a stock that's up 10%. Obviously a pullback would be great. But if you're looking to buy leaps, I think you're in the green. Okay, I think you're in the green. Like, let's say $80 June 2026 leaps. Yeah. Equity. Yeah. But next week calls, this is not what I'm talking about. Okay, so don't come into next week buying these calls and then DMing me talking some BS. Okay, I didn't tell you to buy it right then. All right. But SMCI looks absolutely incredible to continue to go to 82. The reason I'm saying that is because this is a stock that has now broken out from huge resistance. The only next resistance that it needs to break out from is $66, like you saw this huge rejection right here. But as soon as it starts breaking out at 66, you then have some massive targets to $83. Okay, and then once it's above 83, you have this really shooting to 100 plus, 123. Okay, so this still has some room to go to the upside. I think it is going to be able to do all of that. It has earnings in 8 days. This is a stock that is in heavy partnership with NVIDIA. You guys know NVIDIA. I think it's the largest market cap stock right now, over 5 trillion, 4 trillion, 4.3 trillion. And SMCI is in heavy partnership with it. And I think they're going to continue to get partnerships with different data centers, et cetera. They produce like the racks or something, okay, the cooling racks. They do a lot, okay? They do a lot. And I just think this is a good company. And I think they will continue to grow and grow and grow. Only at a $35 billion market cap, I think this can get to over $100 billion, okay? So this is one that I think could make some massive price targets. As you see, I have them drawn up here, 123, 187. Okay, now of course we need above $83. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. We definitely need above 83, and we definitely need above 66. But with the bull market, like some of you guys don't know, man. I think with the Qs being possibly able to get to above 600 for sure, and possibly like 630, 640. Those are my price targets. I think we continue to run up a lot higher than we are right now. We haven't even gotten rate cuts yet. I think those are going to end up getting priced in. We haven't even got these full tariff things that are going to be able to get resolved. So I think the market will continue to run up. I think the euphorium hasn't even started. So these price targets that I'm talking about on these individual stocks, man. Get in or get left. Get in or get left. This is financial. It's financial advice for dummies, for entertainment. But yeah, those are the three stocks, and even we'll even throw in like a little BMNR. I'm not gonna look at these, but SBET. We could throw in some of these. Now I do think this continues to dip. Maybe to $7 or $15. But like I said, the euphoria in the crypto market hasn't. And if you don't know, these are crypto stocks that are going all in on Ethereum, kind of like what you saw with the MSTR. And if you guys have been following for a little bit, WOM, you guys know we were talking about MSTR back when this was $30, and we were saying this was the best buy in the world. And now it's not the best buy in the world, but it was back then. And if you look at SBT, I think they're going to end up doing kind of the same, not to the big extent like MSTR, just because, they had Michael Saylor. But SBT, I believe, is going to end up pulling something pretty substantial. Okay, I have a minimum target to 192. Minimum. Okay, so I think this is a good dollar cost average into the second half of this year as well. And I think it can even make you the most amount of money, but it's also the highest risk. Keep in mind. But anyways, guys, make sure you guys are in the Discord. Make sure you guys are checking out what's happening inside of WOM. We have a lot going on. We called out PLTR puts today, and we made a bag. Okay, PLTR dumped off of some news. I don't even know what it was. Who cares? Okay, over 300% play. We don't care how it happened. It happened. We don't care how it happened. It happened. Okay, so anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. I'm out. Peace.